everyone, this is Anna from Koala Soap, and today I'm going to be using my Cricut Cuttlebug to use the embossing part of it so that I can make a little silicone mold for the soap. It has a little suction there and it will shut it down so it won't move on me. And basically what you do is you get an embossing mat. I'm just going to give you an example of what it does. And you would take a card and then you would make sure it's in there. We would put it in between the sheaths, I believe is what it's called. And then we would go ahead and you would just run it through a couple times. And it's that easy. You would be adding on extra and it will actually cut figures out. And I don't know if you can actually see, let me fix my focus here. So you can see how it embosses. If you can't see that, I put some pink on this so you kind of get an idea. But so I thought, okay, let's see if we can take our putty and use this and make a little silicone mold for our mold. So the idea is I want to make an embossed little silicone mat to go into here on both sides so that there's a design on the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and you need to be very careful because you don't want to ruin your mats. And I'm going to take this, and what we're going to do is I'm going to take a one-on-one, I guess we can put this over here. And you need to make sure you close this up. This one I've used a good amount on. I have several boxes of this, so it's always kind of hard to gauge. It needs to be a 1-to-1 ratio. It gets a little messy, so I'm going to warn you now that this part can get a little messy when we're running it through the Cuttlebug. The Cuttlebug doesn't have anything mechanical in it that can get ruined, but it's still a cool little machine to have. I think I'm going to have to grab a little spoon or something to get the rest, oh there it is, the rest of this out. Okay, so let me gauge this and see. Just a little bit of that back in there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to mush this together until it's all one color. We have just a little bit of time to play, but not a lot. Okay, so you want to make sure that you don't see any white spots or just yellow spots. It should just be a nice light yellow by the time you're done. Now here's the tricky part. I need this to come out enough. It's almost going to take the whole mat. So I'm going to usually put it in the middle and then I kind of mush it down a little bit. I don't want it to be too thin. I do want to see an impression on it. And I already know what's going to happen is it's going to come out the ends. That's fine. We're going to grab it real quick. And it will wipe off this mat too fairly quickly. Move that out of the way. Move this a little bit closer. And here we go. So it's going to be a little hard in the beginning to get it through here, and that's okay. And you can kind of see it comes all the way out. And I just grab it as it's coming out. And we're done. Move that out of the way. I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to leave the mat down, but I want to get it off here as soon as possible because I don't want it to stick. So we're going to have that like this. We're going to roll this up. And then I will just wash it with some soap and water. We're going to let this sit and then we'll go ahead and come back and unmold. Okay, so when I unmolded it, here you go. And so my thought was going to be that I was going to cut it down and put it here, and I was going to make another one for the other side. The problem is I don't have enough for another one. I thought I had another box of this. I do not. But so it's come out nicely, and we are going to go ahead. I guess we can go do one side so we can see how it works. So we're going to go ahead and cut it down to one side, and then we'll do a soap, and then we'll kind of see how this works, and then we'll know that basically we can make it from these embossing mats that you can get off of Amazon. So what I did here was I took a piece of paper and I pretty much just kind of measured a little cutout about how big it's going to be. I have the nice side down, and I'm going to take, you can take a pen or a Sharpie, and I'm just going to go ahead and mark it. And then we're going to cut it down to size. And we're just going to use some scissors. So hopefully I can cut it fairly straight. Okay, I have it cut down, and so this is basically what it would look like. From what I can tell, looking at these two molds, this fits in perfectly. I would almost be tempted to just, these things are so inexpensive. If you're not going to use it for embossing, if you're going to use this, I would almost be tempted to just cut it in half, put one side here, one side there. I don't know if that'll work. That'll be another video. If you're going to use one of these 2-pound molds, it looks like you're going to have to do a couple of them. So I just want to let you know that if you're going to do this, you probably just need one. And one of these should give you plenty. I've just used it for a lot of other stuff. So we're going to go ahead, we'll just do one side, and that way we can kind of get an idea of how it looks. We're going to go ahead and get our soap ready, and we'll be back. Okay, everybody, what I decided to do was, this is the one we made for the pink small mold that we're going to use, this one. And then I have this one, which is for the little 6-cavity mold, and I figured what I would do is, it's a little small, but it's better than not having anything on the other end. So it will cover some of it, but not all of it. But at least it just won't be 3 blank ends in one of these. So that's what we'll do. Also, when you're putting it through the Cuttlebug, I wanted to let you know that I forgot that when you go back and forth, it makes it thinner and thinner. You only need to go through once on the Cuttlebug with your embossing mat, because you want it to have a little bit of thickness so that it will stick in a little bit easier. With that said, we're going to go ahead and take our Shea Butter Melt and Pour. This is not raw shea butter, it's Shea Butter Melt and Pour soap. We're going to go ahead and melt it down. I have about 8 ounces in each for this mold, which takes anywhere from between 18 and 21 ounces. We're going to go ahead and melt these down, and then I think Cailin's going to come and help us. She's picked these colors. She wanted to do white, Poppin pink, and I believe this is yellow sunset. Our scent today will be baby's breath. So let's go ahead and get these melted, and we'll get started. Okay, everybody, Cailin has joined us.
Hi.
It's been a long time. So we're only going to put alcohol in 2 of those, just a little bit. Good job.
There we go. And now we're going to take
Poppin pink.
Yeah, this is Poppin Pink by StarDust Micas.
Okay.
We're going to take a little bit.
No, a little bit more than that. It's not going to show up in 8 ounces.
Okay. And then
okay, we're going to keep this in here so you can stir it with the same color spoon.
okay. And then we are going
Stir
to
it.
stir this. Did you already stir this one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we're going to stir that one.
Okay, good job.
And
So first of all, we need to see how hot are these. So stir it first, and because there might be a skin. So stir it first, and then see what the temperature is in that.
Okay, and then
squeeze it.
I know I have it. 141, so it's a little too hot, right?
No, it's actually pretty good.
Oh, okay.
We didn't stir this one, did we?
No, because that's the white.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so go ahead and pour in your pink. And then a trick that we do here, so that we can save all of our mica. Mommy's left-handed, so I'm kind of weird about this. Grab things weird. I'm only left-hander in the family. Oh no.
No, Gavin's left-hand.
Gavin's left-hand. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to grab that chopstick. Now you're not going to mix the colors, so they each get their own. And then you can adjust and titrate. If you think that that needs to be a little bit pinker, because remember, we want to make sure all the colors look distinct enough.
I like it.
You like it? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and do your yellow next. And just keep that in there.
Keep that in there.
Uh-huh.
And then
You
this
have
one
your
or that one?
chopstick right there. I'm going to put the yellow in this one, the one closest to you.
And then can you get the spray bottle?
I can.
And then
Okay.
And then I'm going to use a thicker chopstick. This one might need a little bit more. Yeah, this one's gonna need a little bit more.
Okay, so you have your, it's right there.
Alright, we're gonna take this.
I'll leave this in here so we don't mix
Oh
it
yeah,
up.
sorry.
That's okay.
And then was it this one? Yeah, it was this one.
I can't remember, but
I can.
you can put more in. Don't worry, it's yellow. It won't get too dark.
Yeah, but I want it to be pastel. Okay. Now we have
You want
this.
to add a touch of alcohol to it. There you go, just a little drop will do ya.
There we go. We're gonna use this guy then. I'm gonna put him. And can you spray this?
Okay.
Okay. Now we're gonna. Okay. Now I think it's yellow enough. Yeah.
Okay, so it's all very pastel-y.
Yes.
Okay, so now the next thing we have to do is let's take the temperature. 143. That was Gavin. Okay, so we're gonna do baby's breath. So what you're gonna do is this dropper is 3 mLs.
Okay.
You're gonna do 1.5 droppers and just disperse it throughout. Okay.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
So 1.5 full droppers dispersed throughout all 3.
Yeah, share 1.5 droppers. We want to put in about 5 mLs. Put a little here, here, and here, and maybe half a drop or more. You could actually go with 2 droppers. Okay,
And
that's
not
good.
that whole thing.
We'll put this off to the side so I know
And
to
then
clean
don't
it.
Spill this.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna stir this up so it doesn't. No, I can't do that.
We have little skins going on here, so the next thing you're going to do, we're going to move all of these out over here off to the side.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to pour and try to keep them separated. I would pour yellow first and just try to keep it over here as best you can.
They're liquids, aren't they gonna mix?
Well, we're going to try to have them not, so try to keep it all over here. Slowly, more slowly. Try to keep it all over there as best you can.
Thank you. Thank you for fanning this.
Go on over there. We don't care if there's skin or air bubbles. We're just gonna now these are going to take longer to set just because they're the shea butter, and that's fine. Just do your best. So what we can do, since it took up most of it anyway, is this will set fairly quickly because it's cool. So 127. So we're going to put this on the side. We can't mix this yet, so we're going to come back in a few minutes and then we'll pour pink on top over here, okay? And then I'll fan it over here.
Alright.
Okay? Alright, we'll be back. Okay, so we are now at about 125 on here. This has a nice light skin on it, but it's very light. So what we're going to do is Kaylin's going to pour on the spatula. Go ahead, you can hold the spatula. You got
Over
this.
here, right?
Just go all over the place. You can,
Everywhere now?
yeah, you can go over here too. Put the spatula a little bit lower down. You want it to just kind of fall nicely. Okay, Gavin, you can come back, but no more spoon dropping. We're concentrating right now. Your sister's concentrating.
Yes.
Click down a little bit lower.
Pouring soap onto a spoon.
Yes.
Spatula.
Yes.
Aren't spatulas supposed to have holes in them?
This is a... Well, now you have me confused. I think it's a spatula. Yes, it is a spatula.
This is a spatula.
Okay.
He's thinking of like a soup spoon.
Okay. So there's a little bit more in here, so I'm going to just scrape it out. You just put it right in there. Because it really just doesn't matter about the skin. Now we're going to need this white to be the outside of our base. But if you'd like, you want to see what the temperature is on it? Here, okay, 129. So you
124.
124. Okay, so what you can do is pour just a little bit right there. That's just a little bit. Not, oops.
Oopsies.
Okay, not much. Here you go. We just don't want it to break through. Maybe a little bit over here on the pink. We just poured the pink, so hopefully it doesn't break through. Okay, and we're going to save the rest for our mold. So we need all of this to dry, and then we're going to go ahead and squish it up. You're going to get your hands dirty. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, and we're back. So this is done. Cailin just washed her hands. We both have. And what we're going to do now, Cailin, is you're going to start peeling this up, the whole thing. And keep it in here though. Okay, good. Keep all that in there. And now you're just going to start tearing it apart. But keep it all in there, okay?
How small do the pieces have to be?
As small as you want. Instead of rolling it up like I do and tearing it, we're just going to kind of like lay it in there. Oh shoot, you know what we forgot?
What?
We forgot to do something. Sorry.
Well,
Okay, so what we're going to do is you've melted this down. We need to put our side molds in. That's what the whole point of the video was, to do the side molds. So we're going to put a little bit of melt and pour here. And we're going to put it here. And then we're going to do it on this side. Now, we'll start putting this in. Okay, and we're almost done.
is that full enough or no?
Well, I think what we're going to
Don't
end
put
up
in too much
doing,
pink, or else the balance will
we are going to melt them down separately and use them as we need to. I think the first one we'll do is the white. So let's put the pink back in here.
Okay.
And put the yellow in the yellow over there. And there's a little bit of white. We're going to keep that separated.
What if the pink is kind of stuck to the yellow?
That's okay. So what we're going to do now is we are going to melt these down separately, or actually together, and then we'll be back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to squirt this down with alcohol. And Cailin, you're going to go ahead and pour the white in first.
Just all over?
All over. We want it to hopefully get to the bottom. Slowly, slowly, slowly. All the way in. Okay. And so that was in the 130s, right? 146, 143. Okay. I'm going to squirt more with alcohol here. And let's go ahead and pour the pink in slowly.
Just mix it up so you get that skin.
Make sure the skin is gone. It really won't matter too much even if you do pour a little bit in there, because it's going to hopefully just melt in.
Make sure you get all of your soap so you don't waste any.
Okay, and now I'm going to just massage it a little bit.
Did you spray this?
I did. I want to make sure that we're getting all our air bubbles out. Now go ahead and pour yellow.
And then can I do the spray on top of the yellow?
Yeah. Okay, stop. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to massage this just a little bit and try to get any air bubbles out, because some of them will start popping through. A little bit much here, but that's okay. Okay.
Sorry.
So, no, I think it's really going to look cool. So what I'm going to do is try to get some of these down so that they melt in a little bit more. We'll have a little bit of a top going on. And this will be Cailin soap. What are you going to do with this soap?
Give it to my friends.
Okay, we're back. It's actually the next morning, and I've gone ahead and unmolded the soap. I don't know if you can see the pattern in there, but it's really pretty. So that's basically what it looks like. These are the sides. And this is one where I just put part of a mold, but that's probably gonna be our half one anyway, so we'll see. But anyway, so we will go ahead and start cutting. I wanted to add some stuff to it, but Cailin was pretty adamant that this was going to Avila, so she wanted it a certain way. Okay, very pretty. She wanted very soft pastel colors, and it smells great. Go. And then one last one. Oops. Oops. There we go. You can see the design. On this, we're going to just cut off here. We're going to cut off that little lip right there. That's because the mold didn't go all the way around, because it was made for a different. And here's our little half bar. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this. This is Anna from Koala Soap. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again.